Initiating hyperspace launch sequence. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Uncaged Creativity Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Sherman.
My name Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
No, I'm
And
Christian.
that's fine.
That's my name.
And we are here with our dear friends, until further notice, UFN. How are you guys doing today?
Well, I'd like to open this up with a willkommen.
Bienvenue.
Hello, everybody. And we also have Rue.
yes, we have Rue. What's up, Rue?
Yo. So we are here. They just released their sophomore album, This Is Temporary. Fantastic record.
I love that.
And sophomore, it's not it's not an awkward like first year at high school thing anymore. It's like
Yeah.
you're, you
No,
know,
I love that. I love that. I might use that now.
Yeah,
you know the way, you know your way around campus. You've got to figure it out a little bit.
Yeah.
You're making
You
moves.
saying that makes me feel like I've graduated from the rolly backpack to the actual black bag.
Oh, no,
like
I've
laptop
definitely
bag.
started wearing it off my shoulder now.
It's like
Yeah.
one. It's
Yeah.
like one. Yeah, exactly. You're getting
I'm like, I'm getting comfortable around school.
in
I'm
high
like,
school.
what's up?
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. So a lot of our viewers probably know you. A lot of them. The main ones. But there's probably some who don't know you as well. So we're going to ask some questions that we probably know the answers to, that they might know the answers to.
I actually don't think I know the answer
but
to
that
them.
some of them might not know the answers to. So to start off, I wanted to ask, how did the band get together? How did each of you join the band? What's your story?
Hold on. Before you go,
Okay.
we didn't even announce that this is the first guest.
That's true.
We just started going. You guys are the first
Ask
guest.
the questions.
The
Okay,
first
I don't
time
need to be the first of
we've
anything.
ever interviewed someone.
Wow.
Ever. And we're interviewing 4 people.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
All you guys get cookies.
We keep it ambitious here at Uncaged Creativity
very
Podcast.
ambitious.
Yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
continue.
How did the band start?
Do we want to each take
I'm
our
like-
own personal story?
I'm like, Jack, do you want to
Yeah,
start
I'm
us
like-
off with the beginning, and then
Yeah.
we can go to when John joined, and then I can say what I
Start at
did?
the beginning.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Get to
funny
the
thing.
end.
Even though, even though we're like a particular, we're somewhat new. I guess you could say we're a new band, but under 10 years old.
I mean,
Each of us have our own "How did the band start?" story
Right.
because we all became a part of UFN pretty much at different times. So like the inception of the band was when me and our previous drummer, we'd been in school together since like 4th grade, and we became like best friends. And we were thinking about dreams, what we wanted to do with our lives, and we were realizing that we weren't doing what it was that we wanted to do with our lives. And so we're like, you know what that is? I think it's music. I think we should start a band. And I mean, this was over the course of like a lot of walks. We used to go on like weekly walks, and we just hang out all the time.
how old were you guys when you did this?
It was about a year before we started practicing.
Okay.
So gosh, it was 5 years ago-ish. So I was 18, 17 or 18. I don't remember exactly. I was a tiny child, baby.
Little baby Jack.
Yeah,
A tiny child who went on night walks.
yeah, exactly.
I love it.
I was a tiny baby going on night walks with a buddy. Not quite young enough to not be considered an adult, but not quite old enough to not be considered a child. It's
Yeah.
that great time in my life.
It's a freshman high school
Right.
stage.
Yes.
So we got together, decided we're like, hey, let's start a band, and then it was that same night we came up with the name by throwing around a lot of names, and we settled on one that. I remember the name, but it's not important. But we said we were going to settle with that, and we're like, okay, we're doing that until further notice. And we both just kind of stared at each other for like a minute. And we're like, I figured it out.
The light bulb physically went on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, each of the other members that you see before us today, I mean, from Sadie to John to Ruri, I mean, they've all got their own introduction, and I'm very much looking forward to hear how they remember the way that they got
Yeah, so who
Yes.
was next? It
So
went
we'll do
from 2
Chronologically,
John
I
to
was
John.
next.
Okay.
So it was originally, I think, kind of a 3-piece was the idea because they were bass and drums. They had nailed that out. And then I was the only one that I think played guitar that they knew that was like maybe reliable enough. But that's not even necessarily the full story because I was in a band. I was in a high school band for 3 years at that point.
Oh wow.
Like a garage band. And
I
we,
did not know this.
We had written, I want to say upwards of like 100 songs or song parts and had like demos of them. Or just, we didn't release anything. It was just all on hard drives. Yeah, we were just kind of making music and it was like proggy. It was atmospheric, dark, metal kind of rock stuff, punk influences here and there. And it came about that the drummer and the bassist of that band started having a social feud over what this one girl said about the bassist or something like that.
Girl
Or about the
problem.
drummer. Yeah. And it spiraled and they could not figure it out. And they had this long text argument. And then the next day they texted the group chat for the band and was like, and I can't work together anymore. We need to disband. Like I can't work with him artistically anymore. And so we met that day in the science quad of Granada. And we all
Was this your freshman year?
this was my
sophomore year?
senior year.
Senior year.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had been doing this for like 3 years at this point. And we had acquired a singer. So it was 4 people. It was all 4 of us. And we literally, they were so awkward and our singer was really shy. So I kind of had to take control. And it ended up being, this is a super toxic way to try to do this, but they requested that somebody be voted out of that band.
Survivor style.
Yes, exactly.
That's
and
rough.
so we got the basic story from each of them, and then I was like, okay, here's
Wait, you actually went through with it?
I had to
Guys, we
organize
should
it.
vote on who to kick out. Yeah.
So hold on. I need the visual for this. Did you write names on paper?
No.
Put them in a hat?
It was
public?
It was in the middle of the science squad. It was during lunch. Nobody was around, really. There were
Yeah.
some people buzzing around, but they weren't paying attention to us. So we all just met, like, almost in the center of I remember it almost exactly where it was, in the center of the science squad. And so I had to organize it just like, we don't have any paper. Look, all right. So you both explained your stories.
Hold on.
Everybody-
You're high schoolers who don't have paper. So you're all horrible students.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
I mean,
they suck.
none of us were achievers.
I promise
Well,
this
I
is
mean,
important to the
they
viewers.
were seniors.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, they need to
seniors
know.
walk around without backpacks on.
True.
You know,
Yeah, they always
That's
ask to
true.
borrow pencils. You
Yeah.
never bring them.
Yeah, as soon as I got into the science squad, I just shed everything. Whoop, quiet. And so I had to take command and just be like, all right, you guys are being awkward. I didn't say that to them. I didn't have the strength. And I said, okay, everybody close your eyes. And I think it was like put your left hand out if you're voting out, put your right hand out if you vote out.
oh, no.
How did you even come up with this?
This is the
I
most.
just was like trying to think of a way that wasn't thumbs up
It's
or
like
thumbs
heads
down.
up, 7 Up. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
So
This is the most amazing story. That's so unnecessary, but I need to know it. It's
love
so
it.
necessary and unnecessary at the same time.
so
We're
we
going
all.
into so much depth about just this one topic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, the people need to know.
I love it. Oh yeah,
Well, because my
it's
actual
crucial.
actual entry into the band was not. It wasn't like a fight. It wasn't explosive. Like it wasn't a crazy thing getting into the band itself. It was coming out of the previous band. But like me getting into this band wasn't a firework. It was like the protagonist getting out of Shawshank Redemption, like just leaving the jail. That's
Spoilers.
how I entered this band. It was super like chill going in. So all right, so we had all had this vote. They closed their eyes and we put our hands out and I say, all right, open your eyes. It was a tie. It was a dead
Of course
tie.
it was. There's 4 people.
Between- exactly. It was like split down the middle. And I remember I was like, I voted to keep and he voted for himself. And then
Yeah.
Kevin voted. Yeah, I just remember how it went down so vividly. And so we just decided to disband. Like
I like
it
the
happened
attempt
all
for
in
being
one lunch.
anonymous
Yeah.
did not work.
No, I wasn't. They know this story. Okay. I'm not going to out them where they are
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they are one of them doesn't care whether or not this information gets out there. They're totally like completely not in civilization anymore. It's
Got it.
weird.
Well, that's
Like-
good. It's very accessible
Yeah, he's
information.
gotta go survive.
I'm like, well, that's well, you dropped some names.
So how did you go from leaving the band Survivor Style
Yeah.
to UFN?
So concurrently, like a month or 2 before that, Dallas, our old drummer, messaged me on Facebook. He was my cousin. And I just didn't expect to get a message from my cousin. And it was, I think, a paragraph about, hey, I know you're in a band, but, my friend Jack and I are starting this band and we wanted you to be the guitarist. I didn't even remember if it was an audition. It was just a, do you want to be our guitarist?
It was kind of that, because he was showing me footage of you playing guitar, and I was like, he looks like he knows what he's doing. He was like, yeah, my cousin's a guitar phenom.
Fortunately,
and I was
this
like,
wasn't the case.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, you would say that about a cousin, and then he was like, no, like, look. And then I was like, isn't that the kid that screamed at me?
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes,
we got some funny stories, and maybe we can circle back to that one. But
For sure.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Video games are my kryptonite.
but I've known John for a long time. Didn't know I knew John, but I knew John. And then I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's invite him over. And we just kind of considered the first practice the audition. We didn't tell him though.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it made it less stressful as well. I wasn't trying to perform in my head. It was just, I only performed insofar as meeting a new person. So yeah, it wasn't, but it was totally chill. And I was good enough that they let me continue playing with them.
Yeah,
They
John,
also-
good enough.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, you did
Good
okay.
enough.
You did okay.
I did okay. Yeah.
I mean,
So
you're
the-
still here.
So UFN went from 2 to 3. How did it go from 3 to 4?
So, actually, there's a part that kind of segues into me being in the band. So, originally there was another singer, and they were having some trouble with
Long short, he's not with us anymore.
yeah, long
it.
short, he's not with us anymore. There was just things. So my brother was like, damn, well, we don't have a singer, and he wasn't gonna ask me because he didn't want to have any more family in the band. And I understand that, and I get that. And I was like, no, I don't even want to be in the band. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you know.
I don't even care.
Yeah, literally, that was my whole attitude about
So
it. And I was
punk.
like, it's whatever. And then they brought someone over to audition, and she was auditioning, and I got really jealous. Like there was just this like warmth in my heart that was not a good warmth. It was definitely like I should be there. I'm so much better than her. Like that was like the mindset. Like she's a beautiful singer, obviously. But like, you know, I was just kind of like green with envy. And I was like, I want that. But I also was like, I'm not gonna encroach on Jack and everything and everything. But I was talking to my mom about it, who's momager. And she was like, well, just ask him to audition and just like go for it. So I was like, okay. So I asked him to audition, and he was like, I mean,
It's one of those. Hey, can I and
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, right. He was like,
You got one shot.
right, exactly.
One opportunity.
Yeah,
This is
so he
everything
was
you
like,
ever wanted.
yeah, he was like, all right, next practice or something, just come prepared with some of our songs and sing along with us, and we'll see how you do. The next practice, I sang CSM and I think Habit, or no, because that wasn't
Classics.
written.
Two classics.
Because one of the first ones we wrote was When the
Yeah,
Fire. Was it one of those?
I'm pretty sure it was either Fire or something, and then it was also.
And how long ago was this? Because those are songs that the viewers know.
Oh God, this was 20.
Years ago.
Yeah, it is.
17?
Yeah.
It had to be 2017, 2018, early 2018.
Wow, got it.
Yeah, because I was still 17. And yeah, and then I played. Yeah, I did those, and I did them pretty well. And then we finished writing For Now in the same practice.
Yeah.
Like I was automatically, they were like, all right, you're good. Like John was like, I like you. Dallas was like, you got a good voice. And Jack was like, fine. So
Yeah.
Brotherly love.
yeah.
But I think it was a good call. I think
Yeah.
it's a good fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it
I'm
worked out,
alright,
didn't
I
it?
guess.
Yeah, and that other singer that we had audition, yeah, she's got a nice voice. It's just not our sound.
Yeah, it didn't fit the sound.
Didn't have the same connection either.
Mm.
So then, Brew.
Was that
I
not
guess-
awkward? Was that not like super awkward though when you're sitting around at the dinner table together and you know that your sister's auditioning and you try to act all formal? You're like, well, be prepared with these songs, and then like, what do you like switch modes? Like, like a psychopath.
Absolutely.
It's that switch in the head where you're like, I'm at the office now.
You
13
get no
papers
commute time.
today.
You get no
Took the
commute
brother
time to
hat
decompress.
off, put on the
Yeah.
the musician hat.
So follow-up question. So we know your guys' origin stories, like how the original group happened. Now, where did you find Rue?
Well, I want Rue to tell us his experience from his point of view, because I know we've had it before, and then we'll talk about really what happened on our side. But I want to hear Rue's perspective first.
Oh.
Oh.
Surprise!
I let's see, went to San Francisco from Scotland, and I do film in Los Angeles. I'm studying it, and during the pandemic, everything went online for everyone. So obviously, it's Zoom learning over university, and I had family in San Francisco, which I've been back and forth to all my life, and I've been playing drums since I was 8, so I'm like 27 now, so long time, and I just always was playing. Like I was in a band years ago, but since then I've just been practicing for myself, and I knew I was going to be in California for a long time, and I wanted to play out here. Just wanted to play with other people, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop OnlyFans, and I'm going to start a band account. I'm joking. I'm going to start and go on like band mix or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And put my profile up, and went in for an audition with these guys, which was extremely professional. The setup they had, I think Jack must be behind this. It was like, now family, we're going to have a family meeting now. We're going to discuss.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh man.
So what was your impression of UFN when you came into this? Because that's like a pretty big deal to move and then to come into a band, and then I feel like that'd be intimidating sitting across 3 people who have established themselves as a band. They've been doing stuff. So how are you feeling? What was your perspective of that?
Fuck yeah, it was intimidating.
Yeah.
Video camera set up and all this, like they offered me a coffee, which is a great start, I'm pretty sure. So no, they were cool. Yeah, they were nice and just came prepared. But I didn't have a kit to play on, so I was just practicing on. I set up a pillow drum kit with like a couple of practice pads and just used it. I did have a pedal. Yeah, I just didn't really have a board to like bounce it off, so I just like set a pillow against it and just worked out every day for it. And then it seemed to go well, but no, I was nervous as fuck. I had to come driving to Livermore. I didn't know where Livermore was. So,
No one knows what Livermore is. It's okay.
That mysterious drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
the rest
coming to
of
this leafy suburb with all those rolling hills and stuff. And I was like, I can feel the angst here. I feel like I'm going into Green Day territory. I feel like, I was like, I just felt it.
You're coming from like San Francisco, you're coming through like the Altamont Hills on the way into Livermore, and you're like, I'm gonna go try it for a band. Wow, this scenery.
Livermore is angst central, apparently. I love it.
It's true. Lovely.
So
scenery.
for your guys' perspective, you needed a drummer.
Yeah.
This dude shows up. Was it just you heard him talk, heard the accent, it was swooning from there?
Immediate.
Sold.
Tired.
What was your perspective on bringing Ruin?
Okay, well, I would like to share a very specific memory that I have of my mom, momager. I keep saying my mom. I'm like, she's momager. You guys know her as momager.
Manager.
So she's our manager, momager. And she was on Bandmix. And she had just set up our UFN account, and she's like, check out this guy. He looks like he's like a bodybuilder. And he's jacked. And he wants to play drums. And he's just like, that's the perfect example of Rue right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
That shot.
How could you say no to that?
No,
I know.
exactly. So she was like, yeah, it's just this random bodybuilder. And then she shows me like his Instagram and his pictures. And I was like, who is this guy? And so he came over and I was like, yeah, he's just as intimidating as I thought he would be. And then he played really good on the drums. And I was like, I mean, if he doesn't have a flaky schedule, then he can join us. Like, I mean, I think if he's down to be down, then that was cool. Like, I felt a really good vibe from him automatically, and he was super polite, still is super polite. And obviously the accent was a big ticket, number.
I don't think he has any idea how good he is.
Yeah. And he's not afraid to like speak his mind on an issue, but he still broaches it politely, which is very important, because you can be polite to the point where you don't share important details. And it's really nice. I think he's the right balance on that. For me, when we first practiced with him, my initial thought when we were trying to get a new drummer was I need them to just be on time was my main thing. And then the relative amount of creativity can kind of be worked with and that whole thing. But as soon as he came in, the timing wasn't an issue. Like we were pretty much on the same page, and any little kinks were like I knew we'd work them out in the shed anyways. But I had never heard somebody play drums like that live before. It was always seeing, crazy drummer videos who are doing even just their little in-between hits are really dynamic, and just the way they move around the kit is super cool. It was very different from a lot of the drumming I was used to hearing. So it was really cool. It immediately made me really fond of his drumming style.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I told him to say that.
And that's why you paid me $20 last week.
Yeah, this is all
You
scripted.
better
I don't
say
know.
that I'm a good drummer.
He's a good drummer, you guys.
He's amazing. Okay, please.
I don't have
Let me go
anything
see my
pointed at
family.
me. He's a good drummer. He's a good drummer.
He's a good
drummer.
He's a good drummer.
Thank
Please,
you.
let me see my wife and family.
I'm kidding. But no, honestly, I mean, hit us up on Band Mix. We were having some good conversations, some good back and forth. So I immediately knew this was going to be someone that was. You immediately get the impression of the politeness and the respect for the art.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you have a business and you can respect a business, and then there's respecting an art form.
Mhm.
I mean, you walk in, you go to your day job or wherever it happens to be, and you know who your boss is, and you know what you got to do for your job. But then for your art, you got to walk in ready to hear what somebody else has to spill their heart out.
Yeah.
And so
That's really the way
I
to word
definitely I definitely got the impression that there was a good ear and a good mouth.
Mhm.
If that makes
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
fair.
Amazing ear.
But then it was really exciting when he was coming over, because I was definitely anticipating. Well, I mean, you audition musicians. I mean, you get people that, oh yeah, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. That's younger than Betty White.
That's a horrible pitch.
Obscure.
That is-
No.
For anyone, if anyone's thinking about like online musician dating, like pitching yourself to a band, don't use that line.
No, exactly. You get all these Tinder bios from these people that are like, yeah, I'm so great at my instrument. And you're like, okay, so come over and play. And so like you got to have your checklist of things that you want, because I mean, being in art, you can't like judge somebody, are they good or bad? Like you got to take parts of what they're doing and see how either you can ascribe them to your sound, or how they can lend to your sound, or how your sound can lend to them and their play styles. So I mean, you make the list. You have the important things. You got to keep time, because he's a drummer.
Yeah, comes in handy.
You got to keep time. And like, I wanted to see at least, like, can you copy what we've done and also get the spirit of it? I mean, because you can play the drum part exactly the way it is, and then you can get the accents right. You can get the soft and the loud right. You can get the emotions right. You can get how you look when you're playing it.
Yeah.
It all goes into the performance and the presentation of the art. And I mean, it was really, I needed to know he was polite, he could keep time, he could copy, but he could also create.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, and seeing the creation, I mean, I think we had one of the songs we requested was "I Want to Tell You," and it was pretty exact, straight through. I mean, I already knew he was playing. I mean, offered him a coffee when he accepted, and then
So that was the first one off the checklist.
wasn't
Yeah, that's an
afraid to
important
ask
one.
for cream, which bonus
Ooh.
points.
Boom.
And
Bold.
a lot of people, you ask for the cream in your coffee when you get offered. I mean, if you like it, you do. I respect that. A lot of people get hung up on the black coffee thing. Anyway, I digress. I had it, and we played "I Want to Tell You," and it was like straight through the whole way. And then I believe it was the bridge where things get funky. He was throwing in extra riffs like I wouldn't notice, but I did, and I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so not only is this guy catching the feeling and he's playing it right, he's also showing me some creativity and showing me that he wants to write in this style.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I mean, I was sold from there.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah, and
I mean,
he does a really good job also of. I could tell that he does a lot to commit to your guys' songs because he didn't copy and paste what UFN was before in the previous album. He completely added a different element when he came in, not just from your guys' like style of writing that evolved. It was like his addition of the drums took everything to a whole different level.
So much. And we've got a whole appreciation. Like I think Rue opened our eyes to that appreciation. And then our album happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, oh yeah, drummers have got
which was already
fingerprints.
like it was already a big. Your album was a headache. Would you say, right? It was a long time to produce. You guys lost a drummer.
We were already working on doing the collaboration with everyone else because our drummer was leaving, and we were like, well, crap, we need drummers. So, we called everyone out, and then Rue was like, hey, I'm a drummer and on band mix and everything. And we're like, yeah, come audition. And then we were like, let's give him 2 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he learned all of our songs. All of them. And like that's honestly really impressive. Patting you on the back real quick, Rue. But like we couldn't have expected that. Yeah. And we did, and he delivered. Like it was honestly, it's amazing.
And so for your sophomore record, This Is Temporary, to talk about the music.
Yeah.
You did not just bring in one new drummer for this record. You brought in, what's the final count on drummers?
The final count. So the total different drummers on the album is 7. 9. No, it's 9.
9 if you count
9 records.
I guess us.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
you gotta count us. You gotta count Dallas.
Yep. 3.
You gotta count all of the drummers that are invited separately. So we have
Gray, Mark, Zach Demo, Daniel.
Yeah.
And then Christian. And then we have Rue, which we didn't count.
Right. So that's 9.
So you brought in 9 drummers. And this record, how fleshed out was it before you brought in other drummers to bring in their own flair to play pretty close to what you had in mind? How did that change the record? What was the vibe with that?
Yeah, we had the whole instrumentation. We had a version of each of the songs pretty much worked out before any of the new drummers were added. We had versions with Dallas where he would play certain things, and we had kind of certain ideas for certain parts and how they would go. Some more than others, of course. Some were written later, and some were written earlier.
It's kind of like a half-baked pizza.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see where this goes.
All the ingredients are there. They're just not done being baked.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Great analogy.
Yeah.
Beautiful analogy. Was there any song particularly where the drummer did something that you didn't expect that changed the tone, brought a new perspective, or was it pretty much what you were going for on each track?
I would like to interject here and say that I feel like all the drummers brought exactly the sound we were looking for. Just a lot of them did just really interesting things. Like things I wasn't expecting but did not hate at all.
Could you give us an example?
Yes. I would say Mark Duncanson with when he did Untitled One. He did that song, right? Yes. Yes. Sorry, I had to make sure.
I got
was like,
so many
Hold on.
drummers.
I'm like, we got 9 drummers to go through. Yes. So he did Untitled One, and he played the drums with John's guitar and my vocals, and it was da 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 da, and it was. I just wouldn't have thought of that. I just would have expected a drummer to just do a bass beat, you know? And the fact that he played with that and actually brought it all together was really, like, I think that's probably my favorite.
Yeah. And it shocked us most because at that point in the original part, it was a stop. It was a complete stop.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
And we just let him write what he felt there, and he coordinated with us because we were already in coordination.
Yeah.
And it was so cool that, that was a really cool moment hearing that. Yeah. Another one actually that I found was from This Is Temporary, the title track. Rue putting in the fills from the bridge part. Where are the facts? How long to know that whole part? What we call the stabs. Exactly.
Nice. That's a good word for that.
Yeah. And it was specifically, I vaguely remember in that part, in the original part, it was like we had the double hits with the guitar and with the bass. But he threw in, for the first cycle, he throws in like these double kicks, which just thunder beneath everything. And it's so freaking cool to hear that. And his use of bell too. That was one thing. Using
the bell on that track is pretty sweet. The
it's
timing
super
on that.
sick. And then he, for the second rotation, is doing fives, as he calls them, which he got from, what was the drummer that does fives a lot? Was it Mars Volta?
I think like Thomas Pridgeon does that a lot. Yeah, Thomas Pridgeon, Mars Volta stuff.
Yeah, Thomas Pridgeon from Mars. Yes, right. Mars Volta.
Those are just like rudiments and stuff, like warm up rudiments, like just the double kick underneath it.
Yeah, it was so cool because when I first heard you doing the fives, it was I can't even describe. It was pure elation. I actually was like, that is so freaking cool because I never before. I always thought of the drums in like a complex rhythmic part like that. I always remembered hearing drums accenting the notes, but then I realized how much more can be done because there was so much more dynamics. He was still hitting the accents with us, but he was filling in so much space with his snare and with the crash hits, and the kick still is going. It actually made me very happy to hear it.
That's wicked.
What's each of yours favorite tracks on there? Like starting with Jack.
The favorite tracks from This Is Temporary.
Just one. You're in an elevator with somebody. It's a 3-minute long elevator ride, so you can only show them one song.
That's extremely rude.
Well, the elevator's going to stop when the song is done, though.
Yeah.
It's a very really specific situation.
So
we've come up with.
Is this person creepy?
Yeah.
Is this person creepy?
No, they're very interested in your music.
If they're very interested in my music.
They see your vibe. They're like, "Hey, are you in a band?" You're like, "Hey, yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. Check out this song."
Well, and if you lie about what your favorite is, the elevator stops forever.
So if the elevator,
good twist.
If the elevator doesn't stop until the end of the song, then I guess I'm going to choose Cat in the Window. If I like this person,
okay,
because that's the longest. No, I'm sorry.
You're cheating.
I'll get more serious about it. I'll get a little less meta about that answer. It's really hard for me to decide between The Boy Who Cried Suey and Famous People. I know neither of them.
Are you just flattering us, or is that real?
No,
I didn't even catch that.
Those are songs.
No, I'm not. I don't do that.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I wanted to talk about how
yeah, those are good songs.
Yeah. I do like that
wicked
one
on those ones.
Yeah. No, it's not the title track. I mean, I love the title track. I just think on a first impression kind of thing. If I'm gonna go introduce sound to somebody, I want to show up with a party starter, and This Is Temporary does do that. But Famous People and The Boy Who Cried Suicide, I think. I said the word. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to trigger people, but I mean, there you go. Famous People is just that. It just reminds me so much of that Blink-182, that fast, that go. And Boy Who Cried Suey is just so, it's so deep.
So every time he says it,
it is two completely different tracks. There's one that's just fun, and there's one that's like really serious.
So I honestly would have to think about those two and flip a coin. And if by the time I got the coin flip figured out, if I was still feeling bad about it, I'd go with This Is Temporary. Because I think it's a good combo of both.
I like these two, but I choose this one.
So what I'm hearing is
I cannot
you're not
decide.
leaving the elevator.
Yeah,
You're stuck in the elevator.
I'm getting on the
dead.
elevator. I'm on the elevator forever. I'm never getting. Every song
Never getting
in
on
this album has such a special place of respect in my head and heart. I honestly, it's really hard for me to pick one.
Recording in progress.
Recording in progress.
Nice.
Sad. Favorite song from the record.
Oh my god, this is
just
hard.
one.
I was hoping you would skip me.
Yeah, we're gonna ask everyone but you this question.
They're like, oh,
my favorite song is that we don't care. Next.
No.
Black.
I feel like Fade to Black is a good song too. Anyways,
that's the forbidden song.
Keep on track.
I know, right? So I think I don't know. This is really difficult. Again, I mean, this whole album was just amazing. I loved every part of it, making it and whatnot. I think it's really hard to choose a song, but I would say Ah,
The
damn
anticipation
it.
is
You're all
killing
getting
me.
stuck in elevators.
Like I can't.
So I'm
You're all
gonna be
getting
stuck in an elevator for the rest of my life. We're all stuck in different
That'd be a great
elevators, and
movie.
we have to like aux in
probably
every time we
watch
want to
it.
It is a
record.
great. It is a good
song.
movie.
There's a movie about
Yeah,
that.
there's a movie about it.
What's it called?
Elevator?
It's called Elevator.
I think so.
Horrible.
Isn't
title.
there one called like Devil?
Yeah, yeah, Devil. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's a
I'm
much
pretty
better
sure
title.
it's Devil,
Yeah,
dude.
that is,
yeah.
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 I did
It's
like
like the elevator doors are like in a V, and the red is coming out of it.
I like
That's
people tell
clever.
it to me straight. If it's about an elevator, just name it elevator.
No,
Yeah.
that's horrible.
Mhm.
It reminds
I
me of
hate
like
it.
rubber.
Say what it is.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Favorite song?
Favorite song? I would probably have to say it gets stuck in my head the most often. So really, oh damn it! Oh my god, it's really.
Five,
Just say mirror,
three.
mirror.
No,
Two,
I was gonna say
one.
this is temporary.
Oh, title track.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, it gets stuck in my head the most, and I would say if it wasn't that one, it would either be Famous People or Lies. Because Lies is really good.
Stuck in an elevator. John, favorite
Okay.
song from the
Stuck in
record.
an
So
elevator.
here's all right. Here's why this specific analogy of the elevator is it's making me consider.
I feel so
tear it
bad.
apart, I love it.
feel so bad doing that. Like, why did I even make that
It's
analogy?
making me consider
We're all stuck
what.
in the elevator, Christian.
No. I have an answer for.
Damn,
Here's the
Paul.
thing. I have an answer. I have a distinct answer for both the question of what would I show in an elevator and what's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because they're
Okay.
different. Because you're in the
Well,
elevator. You're
it
I
thinking
really
didn't
about what
even
the other
think
person
about
is.
it that
Yeah,
way, but you're right.
It's like you're
You caught
pitching
that.
it to somebody.
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah, elevator pitch.
Yeah, Jack made the point. It's party starter. For me, it's I want to tell you actually.
Oh yeah.
Which
okay,
one?
okay.
Elevator or favorite?
Elevator.
Oh, okay.
Elevator.
Elevator, because that one is immediately gets going. It's got that like dash of like really cool musicianship and
It's
stuff,
catchy.
but it keeps going. It keeps
Catchy.
the pace, and yeah, exactly, it's catchy. But favorite is probably the one that means the most to me in particular is Mirror Mirror,
Mm.
because yeah, that one I wrote specifically the verse lyrics on, and yeah, I wrote them just in a very specific frame of mind and
Yeah.
about a specific kind of connection with a person.
And honestly, I'm proud of myself, or I'm proud of ourselves for that song because there's no bridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's hard to do.
UFN likes our bridge.
Hard
I
to
get
do,
that.
and we love our bridges.
We
I
love
mean,
our
look
bridges.
at Tina.
If you guys
Look at-
want to do some homework, I mean, homework is a scary word, but if you guys want to know something, just go listen to UFN's music
I dropped out of college.
and scrub it through about 3/4 of the way through every song.
Yes.
9 out of 10 times we're in a bridge.
Yeah.
I love it though. I'm a sucker for a bridge too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm like we do love our bridges. But I will say it's to part with one. I think Mirror Mirror was the song. It's a good song to do it. It continues the story. Doesn't need a bridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rue, favorite song on This Is Temporary.
Or song that you would show to someone in an elevator.
We're gonna go with favorite song on This Is Temporary.
Yeah, man, that's the best song. Clearly, it's for me. It's I'm Blue. I'm Blue's like the best song to play on drums. Yeah,
Daniel's
for
like,
sure.
"Well,
I
thank
think
you."
so. Anyway.
Game respect game.
Yeah, I know, big Daniel over here. I'm Blue for sure. It's catchy as fuck. Like you can't.
Yeah.
I find it just more enjoyable to play. I can loosen up a bit more. It's technical, super technical, but for some reason, like I like This Is Temporary, obviously, of course. But for me, it's like the groove in This Is Temporary that I like. That I think was the cool part for me anyway. Like getting that sort of like hunting sort of groove on, you know, like to keep it kind of crunchy and to keep it feeling. I say to the guys, it feels like a boxing match or something like that. Feels like a prep, like you're prepping for something song, like it's like a fight prep song or something. And I feel like the groove, I love playing that groove. And just thinking that in my mind, like, okay, this is like 1-2 kind of like punch stuff, but I'm Blue.
Shadow boxing.
Just for straight into enjoyable, fun, you know, kind of loose, you know, colorful stuff.
Daniel, what's yours?
My favorite track. We're supposed to be interviewed. Oh,
See, it's
I was
not easy.
Prepared. It is for me. This is temporary.
Okay, fine.
Oh, really?
Hands
Cool.
down. That.
All right.
Let me
Fair.
tell you, I liked the song a lot,
Okay.
and then I got to the bridge. That bridge. There's times I'm in the car, and I skip to the bridge, and I just back. More of that. I want to hear it again. That part is it's jarring in the best way. I love that section of that song. The whole song is great. I get that chorus stuck in my head.
Yeah.
That's like all around. That's my favorite track, but that's by far my favorite moment on the record is the bridge to that song as well. I love that bridge. And the drums the second time through, because the first time you're kind of rigid, the second time you have that fluidity to what you bring to that, you called them as stabs. You bring that fluidity in, which it changes it a little bit, and I love it. I love that section. Christian, your favorite track, While You're Drinking Water. Sucker!
More water.
It just gargled.
Easy.
Really?
Easy.
Easy?
Super easy.
Really? Are you stalling?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Title track.
yeah?
Dang
This
it.
is temporary.
This is temporary.
We got
wow.
3 freaking votes for this.
See, we're all
4
like,
votes
oh,
for this is
it's-
temporary.
And let me
title
tell you
track.
though, like what made it my favorite track, because I previewed all of them on the Apple Store before the album dropped. When I previewed all of them, my favorite was probably Lies or I'm Blue. Just 'cause I really like that song. But then when I saw Rue play This Is Temporary, when we all were in the garage filming and it was like 105 degrees in there,
Yeah.
that's when I was like, whoa. And it was when he played that bridge that I would just like,
Yes.
That bridge is gnarly.
Yeah.
gnarly.
That bridge is gnarly.
So good.
It's so much fun to watch and play. Come see us live.
Yeah, it's live.
I had a question.
Oh,
I had a really specific question. So I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this question. So if I'm
a little
not,
scared.
we can cut this.
He's got the serious
Just be
eyes,
aware.
dude.
I do.
I already know where it's
We'll
going.
let you know if this is an illegal
There was a
question.
moment. Not a moment. There was something that happened leading up to this record. There was, I believe, a 3-week period of time where you were not on the internet. And I'm curious what you can tell us about that period of time.
What? When?
He's thinking about it.
I have notes regarding an absence.
We'll circle back.
Yeah. I remember there being some sort of
The thing is, we have talked about this, and we equally, because people have mentioned it to us before.
Yeah.
We don't really know what happened that week
Okay.
or 3.
Yeah.
But we do have some records of what did happen.
Mhm.
So we're getting to the bottom of that.
Got it.
Yeah.
There's some investigation that needs to happen.
Yes. And
Interesting.
when the time is right,
Yeah.
I think everyone will find out in a way that is going to be satisfactory.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Good
Yeah.
answer.
Very good answer.
Good answer. Now, I have another question for you guys because I honestly don't know. My question was, how did you guys meet Daniel? I don't know. I really don't know the story.
Oh.
Seriously?
Yeah, I really don't
How
know
did
the
you
story.
meet
I'm
me?
like, I'm pretty sure we
So
said
like
that.
what I remember is I did the video for you guys, missing out. This guy reached out to me.
Yeah.
And then we talked about some stuff, and then he went to school, and then I went to
And we
see
still
you guys.
haven't done that stuff.
What?
We still haven't done the
We
stuff
don't
we
need to
talked
talk
about
that.
doing.
That's too much.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
so
we
he went to
did.
school, and then you guys did a gig at Old Mexico, right?
Probably.
Probably.
Right. The very last one you guys did.
Yeah.
The very
And
last one
yeah.
we did, yes.
And
Valentine's Day.
I turned around. I saw Daniel. We nodded awkwardly and then continued about our business. But I honestly don't know how you guys met.
Mm.
So because like this is like my world like merging together.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the Avengers coming together. at the
Yeah,
end of this movie.
exactly.
Well, Jack and I met him at the same place. So I feel
Yeah.
like, I guess we should start. Well, we went to church with the boy.
He's a church boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were going to a college group together, and I don't remember exactly how I found this out, but I found out that Daniel was a creative. I
Just a little bit.
don't
I
Nonsense.
don't
I
know
don't
that word.
yeah, I don't like to label Daniel as a musician because it's not.
Is it because I'm a drummer?
It's not.
Oh.
No.
We all
Oh, man.
don't even. But no, I mean, if you're watching this podcast, you're probably aware that Daniel does a lot more than just music.
I do podcasts.
You do?
Yeah. At
what?
least that. At least that.
From music to video to storytelling to podcasts, I mean, does lots of things. So that's why creative. So I found out, the first thing I found out was that he was in a band. And I knew all of the band members and got to know them. But Daniel is who I spent the most time talking to because we both started talking about Chester Bennington and how much we loved him.
Yeah.
Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
I think for me, well, it was at college group again. But I had a different perspective because
She hated me.
oh yeah, she just sucked.
I still
No.
do.
Well, I noticed he was kind of leading most of the groups and everything, and I thought that was interesting. He was a very golden retriever type person, and he was always bouncing around, and he probably said hi to me a couple times, but I wasn't in his circle yet, so he was he was just bouncing around, and I was like, seems like an interesting guy, and every girl I knew there had a crush on him. Every one of them, and I was
I love this fact.
or had a crush on him before, and
Look
was
how red
telling
he's
me
getting.
about it.
Everybody
And I
look
was
how red
like,
he's getting.
I know, I'm zooming on that face. No, but seriously, I was like, I mean, okay, and then we met and kept going to college
love this
group, and he
conversation.
turned out to be a great guy, and then he was in a band and everything, and
Yeah, it's pretty
church.
sick.
How did I meet you?
Yeah, this is an internal point of mystery.
I
between us.
never
the
remember
subject.
how I met you.
Because all right, there are two possibilities. Because I did go to the college group Bible study with Dallas
Yeah.
because his cousin brought the non-believer just because I wanted to know more about the faith.
Yeah.
So I went. I don't know if we met there because I remember meeting Jacob, Tyler, Aaron, all of the.
I
people.
was pretty spotty.
You were spotty.
I was an every once in a while type of guy.
Which
Yeah.
I think it was the distance making the heart of all these people grow fonder.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
Stop.
Just the growing crushing on Daniel
I
Sherman.
definitely played with that. He's a man with a purpose. That added to it.
Just I love,
Yeah.
So you don't remember
seeing
either?
him, but he's never
So I
around.
don't specifically remember. It's either that the hard cutoff is we definitely met at the barn gig.
Yes.
So it's either that or sometime before during the college group. Otherwise, we would not have met in any capacity.
You know what? You don't remember this. I remember this.
Oh no!
I saw you play before the barn gig.
Really?
I saw you all play at what was that place called?
Oh yes, Rock House.
Yes. I saw you all play at the Rock House.
I remember you
Yeah.
yelling.
Back
at
and the
Jack.
crazy thing is, this might be crazy for people who have seen John play more recently than this, but I remember seeing John play and like stiff boy,
Yes.
uncomfortable in front of people.
Yeah.
And I was like, that guy is shredding and he doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
And then watching you randomly, I think it was the barn gig already, you'd opened up a lot and seeing you just, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Partially with. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, it was so cramped in that corner.
It
That was
It
part
was.
of it. That was definitely part of it. But I also wasn't comfortable. I had played on stage before, and I remember moving around. Like even when I was younger, before I was in the band.
Yeah.
Like in middle school, I did some shows downtown, and I had a stage. I moved around a little bit, but yeah, that space was so small.
It was tight in there.
Yeah, and I was also, I think that was off the heels of the trunk or treat gig
Oh my
where I almost
God.
passed out.
Yeah.
So there also might have been an element of me not wanting to push myself for fear of fainting.
Fair.
Mhm.
I'm not a fainter. I have a very high constitution score.
Yeah.
And I still
rolled high
that
for
was
that
the
in
only
development.
time I got close to fainting ever in my life was the trunk or treat where the sun was beating on me
Oof.
and I was yelling at the lyrics to Holiday while playing guitar for the warm up. I didn't warm up. I didn't have any vocal really training of how to ease myself into it as well.
Oh yeah.
So I almost passed out.
So you all did a music video with this handsome gentleman across from me. How did you meet him?
Oh, I remember it way better than
Christian?
I think anybody
Love
else
in the
does.
background.
I
I
remember
remember
this-
it really well.
We all
too.
remember it
Really?
pretty well.
Yeah, we remember it super well.
Wow.
You were a beacon in a dark
You know what?
area.
You guys tell it then.
Go for it.
Who wants to
I'll
go?
start this off because I
Got
had
it.
the most trouble at this gig in particular.
Really?
So I was seeing this guy, and well, it was.
So I knew this guy.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of backstory. I'm not gonna name any names or anything. I'm not gonna dox him or anything. But I was seeing this guy, sort of, not really. But it was like an on and off thing. And then they invited us to do the show with them, and it was backyard gig. It wasn't like a like an on stage thing, but they had like a stage in the backyard, and it was gonna be really cool and like really chill. And have like most of our punk audience, Did you just notice the picture, Christian?
Let's take a
literally
moment. Audience, take a moment.
literally what
Christian,
we've been
cut
laughing
to
about.
cut to Rue.
Cut to Rue.
The placement on this
Appreciate
image
that.
is pretty perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yes.
great.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty fantastic.
John, I
Oh,
love
now
your
he's
dad
pooping
shoes.
him out. Come on now.
That is, yes. If I was famous, I would wear only those. They're so convenient.
Oh
I
yeah.
swear. Like
I
you
bet.
cannot tell me that just slipping on, and they're so
They look like
breathe,
chanclas,
there's a
bro.
draft around your foot. They don't. My feet don't get smelly. right.
No, Jonathan, no.
For me, it's
Oh.
the slippers. You know, John can truly. It's like you guys are at a barbecue by a pond, and suddenly he's like, "Hey, Jimmy, want to hear your old Uncle John play?"
Oh yes.
Stop it, Uncle John and Jimmy. I need to write that as a
John,
comic.
it is time. 10-second beatbox, go.
Daniel rap.
I'm done feeling villainous, killing this. I miss the list of little children unwilling to listen to me spit. Sitting there wishing I was still swinging miss. Hear me, kids, I'm on the field with the back. I'm watching us start making hits. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Pretty good freestyle.
That felt
there.
necessary after seeing
Absolutely.
the shoes.
That was great.
You had to, back it
Come
up.
see your Uncle John beatbox. Yeah,
Yeah, that.
very essential.
I learned today that I can sound
Hold
kind
my
of like
beer,
an
kids.
elephant.
Do it right now. It's
What was
essential.
Oh, man. So, anyways, I was seeing this guy. No, kidding. No, it's,
Back into the
no,
story.
It's enveloping the front of your lips and then letting it come out the side. So it's.
Yeah,
Can't do it anymore.
it's hard. It's so hard.
So you met Christian at the zoo.
Yeah, I met Christian at the zoo.
yes.
There were a bunch of elephants. No,
Makes
but
sense.
yeah. So I
I
was
was
seeing
just
this
chilling with
guy.
my homies.
Anyways, so you'd organized this backyard gig and everything with a bunch of other bands, and so we were going there and we were just having fun. And like beforehand, there was this like whole conversation that I had to have with him, and my brother was upset at him. He was straight up gonna punch him in the face. I believe it.
I would have paid to see that.
Yeah. So
Would have been worth money. I would have sold tickets.
yeah, exactly.
I bet money on
I'd have
you.
bought him.
Yeah.
I'm scared of you.
I was gonna do it, and he's like, "No, don't."
I was like, no. But yeah, so we start the gig, and then I believe we were opening. Did we open?
No, we were at second band.
No, we were second. I thought so. I was like, I feel like someone was before. No, it was right. No, exactly. There was someone before. It was Crooked Figure, Snakehead.
I think no, it was Crooked Figure.
It was Crooked Figure.
Snakehead was kind of
Yes. So Crooked
Headline.
Figure went first, and they were on the stage, and Christian was there for them, and he was taking pictures. I remember him getting like really good close-up shots of Cameron and everything. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. He's zipping around.
He looked
you
very
know.
professional.
Dude,
It was
Watching
super cool.
Christian like be in an audience and also not be in the audience at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
really
an art he's definitely
I would
mastered.
feel super
Yeah.
weird if I try to get into the
like
the crowd.
dodging a mosh pit with a camera.
I know.
Dude, I've done that when when I took photos of the Misfits, and it was like it was at the Holy Diver. Have you guys been there in
No.
Sacramento?
Oh,
It's
no.
probably the size of this right here.
wow.
And I was like, hey, I'll take photos of you guys. Like, yeah, just come through. And I was like, cool. Where do I stand? Somewhere over there. And it was like literally in the front of the crowd. And I would just, I was just there, like, vibing out to the music, just trying to take a photo whenever I could.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So he was zipping around, doing his Christian thing, and then it was our turn up, and he started taking pictures of us, and I was like, cool. And then he talked to us afterwards, and he was like, hey, I took some photos of you guys because thought you're good. So I think you guys are like really, really good band and everything. I was like, sorry, do you like my Christian impression?
It's
Dead
great.
on.
Thank
It's great.
you.
I
Dead
approve.
on. That's exactly what
Like,
I
I
was
thought
really good.
Christian
I
was
didn't-
talking.
I really
camera.
liked our podcast episode today. I
Just
really
like-
thought we did good.
I was like, yeah. So
That's exactly
what
so,
he
talks
so I took
all
some
the time.
pictures, and I could send it to you. Yeah, I had to get the camera.
I'll get your email.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
The albuterol inhale.
I like to think I'm a little different than the typical photographer.
yeah,
no,
no,
I would
absolutely.
100% agree with
I
that.
definitely think you come across as very professional, but
Yeah.
very familiar with your field.
Very, very
'Cause-
polite.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're in and you're taking your photos and you're like fighting a crowd. Well, you're not fighting. You kind of dance with them.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
interesting because, like, on the one hand, you got the stances that are like, I am taking pictures, but then you're also flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's zip zopping.
But so it was definitely like everything about your mannerisms that I was watching when you were taking pictures of the other bands and when you were taking pictures of us was like, this guy is a professional. How do I achieve working with this guy?
Well, it's
And
funny
then-
for me to hear this because,
Yeah.
like, I see what you guys see, the photos, right?
Yeah.
The tarnation.
It's just Rue whistling.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it was weird.
He's trying to
Anyways,
catch a
it's
bird.
interesting for me to see it because I see what you guys see, the end result, the photo. So I've never seen what it looks like to watch me,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like my mannerisms
I know
and things
You should
like
exactly
hire a
what you mean.
photographer to photographer you.
Yeah, that's true. I should do that. I don't like being in front of the camera though.
Yeah,
But
like
here I am.
while you're getting-
No, you hire them to follow you around, or you get one of those drones that follows you around. You just take
Yeah.
your photos and you just watch the footage later.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then you claim you didn't ask them to do that. Restraining order, lawsuit, money.
There we go.
There
Then-
you
It's
go.
a long con.
Then we
I
have
a
the budget.
stalker.
It's a long con.
But what's funny is when so I'm gonna add to that story. So I used to go to Panama Bay Coffee every single day because I worked there, and it cool people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long story short, this guy Cameron
Mhm.
would always hook it up with coffee. Cameron Joe Boyd, also on Cat in the Window, right?
Oh yeah.
Tying this whole universe together.
Yeah.
And he always just hooked it up with free coffee. I don't really know why. He just kind of liked me. So then one day he was like, "Hey man, we're playing a backyard gig. Would you come take photos of us?" Because he always saw me there with my camera. And I was like, "Yeah, dude. Like you hook it up with coffee all the time. Let's go." So I went there with my girlfriend. I didn't know that they were going to be playing for like 15 minutes. It seemed like 15 minutes.
It was
Yeah.
really short.
It was like 2 songs, and they're really fast.
Yeah, it was like 4 songs. something
So,
like that.
yeah, I felt like, we kind of went over there to like make it this kind of day trip thing. So we went over there, we watched Cameron's band play. I took photos, they were done. And I was like, I looked at my girlfriend, I was like, "You want to head out? Like, I'm sorry, it's a lot, shorter than I thought." And she's like, "No, let's watch this next band." Little did I know that next band is UFM.
And it was a total bummer.
Dude, the
you're
word
killed
left
it.
my mouth. I was like, "Let's go." And she was
Dude.
like, "No, let's watch this next band."
If your girlfriend was a little bit more tired that day,
Yeah, it would have been no.
we would.
No,
Would've
I
ruined
would
my life.
have bawled my eyeballs
What would
out.
I have done?
I know. I'm
yeah,
like,
you
you
wouldn't
never
have
would have
been.
met Christian.
Yeah.
Would have been a whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh my
Good
god.
Good thing
This-
you're caffeinated.
Right.
Yeah.
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 This universe would have been a lot duller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny the
Straight
way that's how this whole
This whole
thing
table.
happened. Yeah, because
Yeah.
then I wouldn't have met Daniel, and then we wouldn't have this thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then so I did photos for you guys, and then I said, "Hey, you ever want to do a music video? Let's do it."
Yeah.
So you guys reached out to me, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little intimidated.
Mm.
Yeah, because you guys were like, "Yo, come to my house and like meet us," and I was like, "I don't know these 3 people. What if they jack my equipment?" Turns out they didn't,
Yeah.
though. Spoiler alert.
No, we were gonna beat him up, and
You've
then
been scared both times.
As
You've
far
met
as you know.
you met
Well,
them the
yeah,
first
you
time.
threatened
and
to kill
my
me.
first-
no, we were gonna beat him up, but we were like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't.
He's a
this
little
time,
jacked.
You know,
Well, like especially in my field, like one of the reasons I've never done music videos was because I've heard a lot of sketchy stories about people going over to people's houses to meet and they get robbed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm just playing
Yeah.
the long game with you, dude. You just
Yeah.
wait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'll wake
We're just
up
waiting.
one day,
We're gonna get
all
you
your
on. Be like,
stuff's
okay,
gone.
come over. We're gonna do like 4
I'm
songs.
like, wow,
and
it's a
then-
nice camera you got there, Christian.
But I mean, it was
That's
kind
what
of
I was worried
intimidating to
about.
sit there like across the
What's
couch.
up, Brew?
That's what you say that again?
That's what I was worried about when I
Yeah.
auditioned.
Yeah,
Yeah, get your stuff
he understands my
They're
worry.
being awfully nice.
Yeah. Like we offered him coffee, we just poisoned it, you know.
Yeah.
This kind of
That's what
stuff
you gotta
happens.
I was like, this coffee is delicious.
Coffee smell like chloroform.
Yeah, if you actually watch any footage where
John
Ruth
just
drums,
coming in chloroforming me.
yep, you can tell his hands have been tied. They're keeping him in the basement somewhere.
Yeah.
It's all against your will, right, Rue?
Exactly.
Blink twice if you need help.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Even the Zoom call is a facade. He's in another room, just locked up.
Yep.
Oh man.
That window is
It's
bulletproof
animatronic.
glass. He can't escape.
It's a green
I
screen.
just remember waking up in a well, and Jack was standing at the top, like, it puts the lotion on its skin, and he had this bottle of like lotion in
Oh
his
my
hand.
God.
That's
He's got the lotion with him.
my lotion bottle.
Proof.
Yeah.
Like, put it on your skin. Are you? Yeah. I'd play in a band with you. I'd play in a band with you so hard.
Oh man.
I'll play in a band with you.
That took such a hard
Oh my
nosedive
God.
so fast.
I
love it.
loved the evolution of that.
Yeah.
Would you drum with me?
To bring this back into the music as
Yes.
we start
Christian was
wrapping up
Yeah.
this episode of the podcast,
I
wanted
laughed
to
so
ask
hard
you.
I cried 3 times.
Yeah, that happened to me a few times too. I wanted to ask you about lyrics. I'm very lyric driven. I know a
Yes.
lot of the viewers of this podcast are very lyric driven, and I wanted to ask you,
Done
as a
feeling killings?
songwriter, lyrics are a really personal thing. It's almost like you're sharing your diary with the world. And a lot of times that diary, you intentionally make it cryptic so that people can apply their own meanings. But along the way, that original meaning still means something really, really deep, really, really personal to you. Long-winded introduction to my question, which is, are there any lyrics on this record that you feel are either being widely misinterpreted from your intention, and not misinterpreted in the sense that it's wrong, but it's not what you intended? Or is there a lyric you can see getting misinterpreted that you'd be willing to share your intended meaning behind?
Oh, God.
You always ask really hard questions.
I know.
I'm trying to think.
Also, what's your second favorite cereal?
I already did this.
Oh my God, don't do this again.
Just kidding.
I've had that answer ready in my head for all time.
You
Since
were
the
very
second time.
fast. That
Since
was
the second
like
time you asked.
that was like instant.
He was like driving here, like Captain Crunch, Captain
So
Crunch, Captain Crunch.
yeah, exactly. Just repeated to myself, and every time I think I'm gonna see Daniel, he surprises me sometimes, and then I have to like go check my notes afterwards and just make sure. Okay, Captain Crunch. Okay. So I should go right out and say that the way I specifically write, whenever I contribute lyrics, I find for me personally, I actually don't put a lot of things cryptically.
I was going to say that. I was going to say John probably has a harder time answering this question because you're pretty specific.
Yeah, the lyrics are open, but they're not obscure.
Can we get a sample of what lyrics John has written besides Mirror Mirror?
Besides Mirror Mirror.
Just so we have an idea.
The verse lyrics to Cat in the Window. And then spottily, I think we've kind of traded off. We both workshopped, I think it was Habits lyrics and Tina.
Yeah,
together.
Habit and Tina.
What does Tina stand for
Those who
might
never
not know?
asked from our first album.
So, Tina. Find that one.
Yeah.
Fire and Wind I wrote as well. Those I had the guitar part and I think the lyrics before the band even started. And then they did like all of their beautiful voice magicry with the vocals for Wind. That was a lot of that was like the layers and the bridge and everything was all there doing. But
it was mostly Jack though. I mean, he sings it so
Do you
beautifully.
have an example
of
your
a
lyrics?
lyric. I'd have to pull from like Cat in the Window because that one I was really proud of some of the wordplay of it. Mirror Mirror is probably my favorite wordplay, but Cat in the Window has let's see. Oh God. The only line that's coming to my mind now, I'm drawing a blank. The only line that's coming to mind now is Ivy's reaching up the wall, it wants my windpipe. They all just like to hide behind their insight, which is connected to there's the whole song, the verse was written in a very resentful tone, but not just towards other people and not just towards yourself. It was kind of switching back and forth, like having this dialogue with yourself. The whole theme that I wrote Cat in the Window verse lyrics around was around this. I was basically struck by this image of a cat in a window. And the thought...
No way.
I know, right? The thought sprung into my head.
Guessed.
What?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. The thought sprang into my head that a house cat that's never really been outside might look outside and want to be out in the wild. But then when they're out there, they can't necessarily fend for themselves if they've been raised indoors. So
I was just going to say that's echoed with, I'm clawing to get out, like God you never know, but I'm broken down. They all just make me feel alone. I'm not the one they'll ever come to truly know.
Yeah.
So I kind of wrote it as a thing of the looking out like kind of the window of your current life and the thing you're dissatisfied with, your kind of general existence, and looking towards a dream or a greener pasture, and then simultaneously having the thought that you're going to turn that green dry and dead.
So it's asking the question of what's out there while simultaneously giving hypotheticals as to what the worst outcome could be.
Yes.
Which I would just love to point out something that I love about you all is that if I were to describe how I feel melodically and sonically listening to Cat in the Window, I would say it's this tension between something really haunting and something really like you can feel the ambition, you can feel the desire behind it. And knowing now your intention behind the lyrics, it's so clear that you were drawing that tone out of the lyrics, which is something you're so good at.
And I mostly write them all in one night. So like I just kind of like splurge it all out and then I'll go through and edit it all there. And then when I'm done, I just give it to Sadie and Sadie does edits. There was a specific line that you changed that I was really happy you changed. They all just like to hide behind their insight. Used to be those bastards like to hide behind their insight.
Mm.
You actually took out the swear, and I think it made it way better.
Oh yeah, they all just all of them.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Not just the people who seem like bastards,
Yes.
but just all of them.
All of them.
And even the line after that I was going to mention earlier, that was my epiphany moment that you might have seen. It was though God it's probably freezing cold.
Oh yeah.
You know, or what's it? They're not the one they'll become. So I'll sneak out. Like I'm gonna sneak out of this place first of all, and then it's probably really cold.
God,
I'm
it's
not gonna
probably
like it outside.
And then
Yes.
immediate hesitation to the idea.
I'm
Right.
I want to apologize because I went on this whole rant and I just remembered because you sung more of the previous part. There's a specific line that you talked about somebody misinterpreting it, and so I wanted to kind of clarify. There's the line about in the intro of the song where it's
Yeah.
really ethereal. While I watch the sun hide behind everything, horizons just kind of untangle me.
Yeah.
That whole line
Which is a beautiful line.
is meant as you can either take it as two separate lines or as one line that two words are shared between them.
Okay.
While I watch the sun hide behind everything is end, but then horizons can continue on. But you could also add everything horizons,
Yeah.
which to me meant a dream. Because a horizon is just a place you pursue, but everything horizons it's a thing that you pursue that means everything to you.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's almost it emphasizes the wonder that you're looking at that horizon with.
It's like it all comes together.
Yeah, so you can see it as two separate lines, but you can also add that extra ending word to the start of the next line.
Yeah, I'm
and
tracking.
that's how so when I get to whenever I hear that part, my brain has this weird like tumbling moment where I'm thinking of it as two different ways, like two separate sentences and one that has an extra word. So like my brain almost gets confused with the wording of it, but I like it. I like the feeling of it because I'm not doing much at that part on the
Yeah,
guitar.
I'm totally gonna hear that line different now. I've always heard it, everything horizons,
Everything
like, that way.
Yeah.
I never thought about there being a space there. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
really
Everything
interesting.
horizons just kind of untangled.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
sun hides
Yeah.
behind everything. It's blocked out completely. There's nothing. There's no
Wow.
sun. Yeah.
So I have two songs, and one is Cat in the Window, which is why I don't want to,
Yeah.
keep it all on that.
Yeah.
It's the bridge of Cat in the Window because it sounds like it's a relationship between two people when actually, and I talked about this in the live that we did for the release. It's actually the relationship, well, from my perspective, that I had with happiness and how it led into it being gone because, and it was a specific date because it was when I realized I was depressed and going through depression. I was like, happiness does not stay around for very long, and it feels like a breakup when it leaves. And it's like less happiness, more like childlike wonder. It's because it just when.
It's like the general contentment and ability to enjoy the day to day.
Right. When the world becomes real and you have to face that not everything is going to go your way, is sort of, what the breakup was. And then the other one is actually Famous People. That song
love that
has
song.
two meanings to it, and I really want people to be able to figure it out. But I also, I would like you to know the meaning that I had intended for it, but if it does mean something else to you, obviously that is A-okay, and if it means that to you and it's better, then that's what it means. The face value meaning is someone who is trying to become famous, and they're having this epiphany, like famous people are just common people that everyone wants to remember. Like that's all they are. And they're nervous and they're trying to get on the stage. And then eventually, sorry, I just had Boy Who Cried Suey in my head, and I was like, that's not the same song. Anyway,
I actually thought you were going to talk about that song, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one too. They all have like double meanings though. Like most of our songs have double meanings. But Famous People, yeah, it's originally the face value is someone trying to get famous. They start out they were a gifted child, so they were told their whole life, oh, prodigy, your infamy, priceless melody. bubbles in your stomach when you head for center stage, but you're really good at this. You got this. And then, the second chorus is prodigy, you're like prodigy in quotes. I actually wrote that in the lyric sheet. And then your insolence, worthless melody. Like, not everyone's going to think you're amazing just because you've been told your whole life that you're awesome.
Yeah, to some people, you might be golden, and to other people, you might be just another piece of paper.
Right. And then the last chorus is the third chorus is more like the bridge. It's just a reflection of the narrator realizing that they've got a lot of stuff that they need to deal with, and all this doubt that's been pressing down on them is really rough, and it puts a lot of pressure on them to perform and everything. But then the last chorus is their triumphant victory towards everything, and they're getting up there. And the other meaning is someone who is famous. And in the first verse, it's like, oh wow, prodigy, your infamy, priceless melody, you're really good at what you do. And then the second one is basically after the person gets canceled or something is brought up where they did something in their past or they did something in their present, and suddenly everyone's shooting them down, and they're like, well, you're awful and I don't even like your work anymore. And then it's the internal struggle, and then it's the last show that they do is the last chorus. And that, take that as you will, is how, soon everyone will remember me for what I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very
So,
interesting.
yeah, that song is probably one of the deeper, if not deepest songs we've written. I like that song a lot.
I like that it's hidden under the
Right.
catchiness of it and the funness of it. I didn't even.
It's
I
hidden,
would've
but it's
never
also
got
so
that.
there at the same time.
Yeah,
once
it's so
revealed
right
to
in
you.
your face
That-
the
that's
whole time.
Part of why I like it so much, and it's so hard for me to not pick that as like my top song. It's like it just goes. But like that, it's one of the darkest stories.
Wow.
But it's one of the brightest and danciest melodies.
And
Which
I
is really
love that
reflective of the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah,
to get
exactly.
past them. It even now. It's like trying to like rub your head and pat your stomach.
Yeah.
You're listening to the song and you're being enthralled by the melody and the lyrics and the fun drums, the fun guitar, the fun lyrics, that you never actually like look deep into what the lyrics actually mean.
I challenge everyone here. Well, not these two because they've already know, but I want you two and you guys to listen to that song. Well, and Rue because he doesn't. I want you to listen to that song in that new perspective now too.
Yeah.
Like because I really. Yeah, I want you to
I don't
feel
know if I
that.
can go
Try
back.
not
Well, just
to-
the
I want you to feel that and cry at 3 a.m.
You
I
get
love
two cries for different reasons.
I love the symmetry of the song being a bright song with something dark to hide in
Yeah.
the same way that the person you're singing about is up
Yes.
front, is growing famous, is in these bright lights and has something dark inside of them that
Yes.
they're hiding that then gets revealed.
That's
That's really interesting.
That's what I loved. And Sadie actually came to us with the guitar part and a lot of the instrumentation.
Wow.
Yeah, I
plotted
was
out.
like, I was
pretty
just-
cool.
That's
okay.
so tight.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of story. I know I'm talking a lot. A little bit of story time. So I was sitting in my room and I was like, I really want to write this new song. So I had this guitar and I found the most complicated way to play it, obviously, because I'm not a guitar player. But I was like, doo 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 doo.
You wrote that part?
doo.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were talking about the intro.
Da,
little
da,
bouncy
da,
thing,
da.
yeah.
I think you did too.
No.
No.
No?
Well, I mean, yes, but
No,
Definitely
I think
inspired.
you
It's like, I
dictated.
want
That
something
was
that's
after.
like boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. But
Yes.
the riff of that song was totally written before the rest of the instrumentation.
This is why we
Yeah.
do podcasts.
Yeah.
This is so-
Yeah.
who would have ever known that?
Yeah.
right though.
So cool.
Seriously. So
I remember actually one of the first iterations of that song was actually we had the riff and she had the lyrics, and I got on a drum kit because we were trying to develop how it would be bigger.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I just played something basic, and we were like, I mean, yeah,
yeah.
but it's not there.
Yeah, no. So definitely so I was plunking out that part and I was like doo, 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 doo. I was like, this is how, it fits with the melody this way, and I like how it sounds, and it's it's not too hard. I can do it really easily, and I can show them, and I hammered that thing out for like an hour, and then I finally got it down. And then I wanted to show my mom the lyrics, and she was in the front room and I was upstairs over the balcony, and I was like go in and tell her about it, and I was just kind of like leaning on the railing and like I started to sing it and I just could not stop myself from choking up and like bawling near the end. I was like, I like literally can't get through this song. It's very a song that I bared my soul with, and I'm terrified to perform it live. But I'm also really excited because I'm like, oh man, if I start bawling on stage, how's that gonna look? Like it probably looks like I'm really attached to my music, but it also looks like I can't handle my whatever. Anyways, but yeah.
So much meaning behind all of your songs. It's a big part of why I'm super excited to be able to watch you guys and listen to you guys as a fan and a friend. It's pretty cool to be able to, I think a lot of people when they hear your music, they can listen to it, they can theorize. I get to be like walking down the street. I'm gonna call Jack, ask him what this song means. I'm gonna, it's pretty special. But as we're talking about meanings, my last question and what I think would be a really good way to wrap this podcast episode up is each of you, if you could in one sentence say what message you hope listeners are left with after hearing This Is Temporary, what would you want that one sentence message to be from you to the listeners?
The album title has a lot of meaning in itself.
I mean,
well,
I was
right?
gonna say, can I pick the album title? Yeah.
How many words is the sentence?
It can be a run-on. Just
To be a run on.
don't go for 10 minutes.
How long is this elevator ride, Daniel?
This is you got like 10 floors to climb.
Oh my god.
You know what? Actually, the elevator broke and you could take stairs.
Oh shoot.
Don't
okay.
tell them that.
I'm gonna be out of breath,
Tromping
dude.
up the stairs.
tell them.
That's
I
why,
know.
'cause they run out of
Speaking
breath.
the sentence, they're like, and
Too meta. Too meta.
I guess shooting, just kind of going off the hip with trying to get a one sentence with this whole message. The moment that you're having and the moments you will have, as big as they might seem, as important and as unending as they might seem, as dreadful or as hopeful as that might seem, will not last forever. Cherish.
Oh.
Well, I'm not out of breath
Okay.
yet. I'm
okay.
I'm
I'll allow
actively
it.
holding my
I'll
breath.
allow it. I'll allow it. Buzzer beater.
Cherish the good ones. Get through the bad ones. Carry on. It's temporary.
Wow. Okay.
damn
Did you
it,
think
that
about
was
this
a
before?
Good sentence.
It's
What is
tattooed
that?
on his
Great
torso.
deal of
Yeah, yeah.
influence.
It's kind of his
If
job
he
to
lifts up
think
his
about
shirt,
it.
that
No-
so-
no
exact
regrets,
sentence
bro. No
is
regrets.
just in like nice cursive
Oh yeah.
all
I was
across.
like, if I can do it in one breath, it counts.
What are you, the intro chapter to Tale of Two Cities?
I mean, it was the best of times.
It was the worst
It was
of
the
times.
worst of times.
Oh my god.
Sad. One message. One sentence message. I messed up my own question. One
I
sentence
was gonna
message.
say really. No. Oh man, these stairs. They're rough to climb.
That's it. That's the message.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stairs are
that's-
tough to climb.
Stairs are
Put that
tough
on a
to
T-shirt
climb.
somewhere.
Please.
The people that watch this will get it.
I would actually buy a T-shirt that says that. But man, these stairs are tough to climb. Okay. 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 This is tough. Why do you ask these questions, Daniel?
I like to watch you suffer.
What prompts you to ask these difficult questions?
He likes watching us
Front row
struggle.
seat to your pain,
Yes.
mostly.
A
Sadist.
ticket to my downfall.
I love that.
You handled it well.
Yeah.
No, you're good. Like we're all gonna have to take a breather before
I know.
answering.
I'm like, you didn't
Yeah.
help, Jack.
I'm sorry.
So I would say, okay, sentence is gonna start soon, I swear.
How about we give you another couple minutes?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
We do have. I don't know if he's ready with something yet, but I do want to see if Rue has a sentence.
Yeah, Rue, do you have a sentence?
Yeah. I would say if you're driving, if you're running, if you're working out, if you have something that you love doing while you're listening to this music and you get, even just for a moment, a bit of a fleeting electric feeling, maybe you have that feeling of being driven and feeling motivated and you get a spark from it, try to bottle that or compartmentalize that in your mind, just because it's all fleeting, right? You always get these fleeting emotions when you're listening to something and you feel inspired. Try to bottle it up and save that in a part of your mind that you can utilize. And I only say that just for a song like This Is Temporary or Famous People or I'm Blue. because they all have that sort of fun energy about them. But this is temporary, and especially it fires me up for what I have to do, whether it's working out, whether it's just going the extra mile, even for a few more minutes. I have that stored in my bank. So it's like something you can reach into and pull out when you need it. So yeah, try to store that energy and compartmentalize it so you get a good feeling, and then try to listen to it when you're having a good time. And you'll be able to remember back to those good times whenever you hear the song. So yeah.
Nice.
That's precious. Okay, I think I'm ready. Every memory that you make is going to stick with you for the rest of your life. And it doesn't matter what you do to try to get rid of it, especially if it's a painful memory. But just know that if it's really something that bothers you or something that you can't live with, you can scream about it into a pillow and water over the bridge because it's temporary. You don't have to worry about it for the rest of your life. You're always going to have that memory, but you don't ever have to dwell on it. So,
Nice.
Yeah. I would say compact that into like 5 words. We got like
one
cut it around a
sentence.
little bit.
Yeah.
One sentence. Well, it's evolved into one breath.
Yeah.
It's like, you give me like a constraint on my speech, and I'm
Yep.
just gonna break that rule.
Yeah.
can't-
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
Normally
long
that's me.
stairway, okay?
Yeah.
I'm really trying. I promise.
Normally that's me, but I've had the
There were
good
no full
fortune.
stops in what I said.
I've had the good fortune of having plenty of time to work it out.
Nice.
Something doesn't have to be eternal to be beautiful.
That's
That was
That's
That was
incredible.
too
fantastic.
good.
That is the-
I'm.
That was
I
fantastic.
get that tattooed on my chest.
Wow.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Well, there you have it, everybody. UFN, thank you so much for joining us on Uncaged Creativity Podcast.
Now, where can everybody find you guys?
Everywhere is what I
Everywhere.
always say. But Spotify, iTunes.
No way, you're on Spotify?
Yes,
yeah,
we're on Spotify.
Spotify.
Oh wait, we're actually
No.
also on Spotify. I didn't know you knew
Oh,
that.
seriously?
Right. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Bro.
We even have a couple tracks on SoundCloud, but I mean, we're on Spotify,
Yeah.
Apple Music, YouTube Music.
Don't
because
forget
it's not
Spotify.
Google Play Music. I don't got Spotify.
Okay.
We're on like Deezer and Napster,
Yeah, we're on
Yeah.
which is my
Napster.
favorite one to
I
tell
only
people.
use Napster.
Can I find you on
Only.
MySpace?
I mean, I'll go make a MySpace. I haven't had one.
Add that to the link tree.
MySpace's dead platform, Christian. Stop trying to make
I
it
still
happen.
live in it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
You can actually find my profile. Don't look it up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, any of those sites can be got to by just visiting our website, www.untilfurthernotice.net.
Yeah.
And check out your album, obviously. Check out your live of fives that you guys do every now and then, I believe. Right?
Yeah, and anywhere you find like something with a username, it's usually UFN Music or UFN Music Official. But yes, we do a live at 5 every other Wednesday now.
Yeah.
And if you missed any of that, it'll be in the link in the description because I'm going to make Christian put it there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Any last words from any of you?
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Hate you. No, thank you.
Wow. Dang.
No, bless you. Thank you for having us on this. It's really cool. I
Yeah.
like this whole setup.
A lot of fun.
I should do this every week.
That would be so tight if we did one like once a month. That would be so tight.
Yeah.
But it's so much work.
Pretty soon.
Yeah.
True.
Fair.
Rue, any last words, Rue?
Put your lotion on your skin, or else Jack will get the hose again.
And I'm afraid that's all the time we have today, ladies and gentlemen. And I will have.
Goodbye. No. No.
You want to outro it?
We will catch you on the motherfucking flippity flip.